In addition to the annual appropriations for fiscal year 2023, the EPA received an astounding $41.5 billion in additional funding as part of the so-called Inflation Reduction Act, which many of us refer to as the reckless tax and spending spree. For context, that's 4 times the appropriation that EP would receive in a typical year. As part of the funding, EPA received hundreds of millions of dollars specifically for administrative expenses, which could include hiring personnel for implementation of the IRA programs. With these eye-watering numbers, I was quite surprised to see in fiscal year 2024 proposal that EPA requests another $1.9 billion increase over last year's annual appropriation, including more money explicitly for the IRA program implementation. Across the country, with inflation, high energy prices, grocery prices, and rising interest rates, Americans are having to do more with less. But EPA got more and still wants more. I am particularly troubled by the largesse of this request because I'm not convinced that EPA is using the resources it already has effectively. I recently received a response from the Nuclear Regulatory Commission that had some eye-popping statistics about current office attendance and work culture. I'd like to get similar answers from you today about the EPA workforce. Last year when you testified before the committee, we discussed EPA employees. When would they be back to work in person? And you said, quote, all employees are scheduled to be back by the last period in April 2022. This year's budget proposal suggests, however, that back in the office does not mean actually present in the office. We are heating, cooling, and cooling massive and nearly uninhabited buildings 3 years after the pandemic started. Now, with the public emergency over, I want to understand the agency's current work practices and how we can avoid some of this energy waste to the benefit of the environment and the taxpayer. We need to do this before we seriously consider any more administrative outlays, including the EPA's desire to hire approximately 2,000 additional FTEs. The need for so many additional workers is at best questionable given recent EPA announcements about how it's going to manage large buckets of money appropriated by the IRA. The EPA is sitting on more money than it's had in its history, and I find it worrying that its method for handling some of these particularly significant new pots of money is to push implementation to groups outside the agency and beyond traditional accountability and oversight. Take, for instance, the $3 billion Climate and Environmental Justice Block Grant Program from the IRA. The EPA, with that program, receives a 7% administrative expenses set aside, so that's $210 million, a lot of money, even here in Washington, right?
$1,693. The next round of checks is set to arrive soon. The Social Security Administration has confirmed that the average Social Security payment is continuing to grow, but lawmakers are worried that inflation will cause the next COLA raise to be much smaller. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video to hear about all of the details. Also, I will be announcing 2 winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway this coming Friday. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, my friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Social Security offers a monthly benefit check to many recipients. As of February 2023, the average check is currently $1,693, but that amount can differ drastically depending on the type of recipient. In fact, retirees typically make more than the overall average. While most people think of Social Security as a program just for retirees, it serves many other groups, including the disabled, spouses, and minor children of retirees, as well as the spouses and minor children of deceased workers. The amount that each group receives differs substantially. In fact, the average retired worker receives $1,830 each month. That's about 8% more than Social Security recipients as a whole receive. Retirement benefits make up the vast bulk of Social Security, which is 77.9%, with most of that going to retired workers. The remainder in this category goes to spouses and minor children of retired workers who receive a check of about $860 to $900 a month on average. While the Social Security benefit is a nice chunk of change, if it stayed the same over the next 30 years, its purchasing power would decline due to inflation. That is why Social Security increases its benefit checks over time, with a cost of living adjustment, also known as COLA. This increase is based on one version of the Consumer Price Index, which measures how much inflation has affected the prices that consumers pay for goods and services. In 17 days, millions of retirees will receive the first round of April's Social Security Administration's retirement payments. It is worth up to $4,555. The first round for those born between the 1st and the 11th of a month will be released on Wednesday, April 12th. The most you could receive from Social Security depends on a few factors: how much you've earned over your working life, when you begin to take your benefits, and your COLA increase. But over time, your benefits will increase if the COLA indicates an increase as well. The maximum initial monthly benefit for 2023 at age 62 is $2,572, and at age 70, it's $4,555. So the right age to claim Social Security is probably the single most debated topic about the program. So dear friends, what are your thoughts on this? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. The labor market continues to defy Federal Reserve attempts to cool hiring, with U.S. applications for unemployment benefits down again last week and remaining at historically low levels. The Labor Department said that jobless claims in the U.S. for the week ending March 18th fell by 1,000 to 191,000 from the previous week. Applications for unemployment benefits are seen as a barometer for layoffs in the United States. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve extended its year-long fight against high inflation by raising its key interest rate by a quarter point, despite concerns that higher borrowing rates could worsen the turmoil that has gripped the banking system. Fed Chair Jerome Powell stressed that the central bank remains focused on fighting high inflation, which could require additional rate hikes. Yet he also signaled that the Fed might not need to impose a lengthy string of increases if more banks were to reduce their lending to conserve cash. Jerome Powell has said that this could slow the economy, hiring, and inflation. The Fed's rate increases are meant to cool the economy, labor market, and wages, thereby suppressing prices. But so far, those things have not happened to the degree that the central bank had hoped. Inflation remains more than double the Fed's 2% target rate, and the economy is growing and adding jobs at a healthy clip. Last month, the government reported that employers added a substantial 311,000 jobs in February, fewer than January's huge gain, but enough to keep pressure on the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates aggressively to fight inflation. In its latest quarterly projections, the Fed predicts that unemployment rates will rise from its current 3.6% to 4.5% by year's end. That is a sizable increase historically associated with recessions. Though the United States labor market remains strong, layoffs have been mounting in the technology sector. While many companies hired aggressively during the crisis, Microsoft, Twitter, Google, and DoorDash have all announced layoffs in recent months. So, dear friends, do you think that we're headed into a recession? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. My amazing and greatest friends, That is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Thank you, dear friends, for being part of this community and for being here every single day. To say thank you, I will be announcing more winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway next Friday. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.